Hello, and welcome back to Talking Tunes, or not Talking Tunes. Welcome back to debut album January, and today we are talking about Genesis's 1969 debut album, From Genesis to Revelation. I know this says Genesis and the word was. This is the same album. It's a reissue from the 80s, and it's weird. I'll talk about that at the end of this video. But this album was recorded in 1968, released in 1969. Let me put it to you this way. I am older now than these dudes were then, which makes me feel just so accomplished. Just so accomplished in my life. Anyway, like Where the Sour Turns to Sweet is song 1, the first ever Genesis song. The musicians are entirely within the left ear. There's some pointless trumpets and shit for some reason. However, Peter Gabriel still sounds like he's like 65. He still sounds old. It's weird. He's always sounded old. So yeah. So there's at least one aspect that's kind of like Genesis on this one. Song number 2, in the beginning, it's got some 60s buzzing, followed by a thumping bass line, a generic 60s melody and sonic profile. It's not very interesting otherwise, but at least it's produced better, and it takes too long to end. It's produced better than the first song. It doesn't have any stupid orchestrations. The next song does. Song number 3, Fireside Song. It's got, now the piano intro does sound like something prog Genesis would do. Unfortunately, it's only about 20 seconds. The orchestrations are back. The song is incredibly boring. It feels like something they would stick in the middle or at the start of like a 10, 15, 20 minute epic that they would do later on. It's kind of boring. This entire album is apparently a concept album about the Bible. None of these dudes were particularly super religious, even at the time. But they did kind of redo the concept of this, but way better, and in half the time of the album on, not Nursery Crime, Jesus Christ, the one with Supper's Ready on it. Jesus, Foxtrot. What the hell was that? Am I getting dementia already? I'm 21 goddamn years old, and I can't remember the title of an album? Christ. Anyway. Yeah. Song number 4, The Serpent. Hey, this one's about Adam and Eve. At least I know that's what it's about. It's got, generic 60s shit again. It's got an early example of using recurring melody. Genesis did that a lot. It would be nice to, however, there's a moment here where it would be really nice to hear Anthony's solo, but Peter Gabriel won't shut his goddamn mouth. So anyway, song number 5, Am I Very Wrong? Another boring intro, more stupid orchestration. There's like some bad choir vocals that happen for 10 seconds each, like 3 times. And I think it's Tony Banks singing it. So it's just boring. It's bad shit. In the Wilderness. This is the only song I can remember, and it's the only part of it I can remember is music. All I hear is music. Whip-a-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. It's only the melody of the chorus, and the rest of the song is bad. I have tried to listen to this album. No, I have listened to this album on, I think, 4 separate occasions, including the time I just listened to it. And it's not good. It's not good. I'm sorry. Song number 7, The Conqueror, opens with the melody of the last song, played on some kind of instrument. I think it's an electric guitar. Apart from that, it's the same boring thing for all but 4 minutes. It's just boring, bad, bland. Like, And it's so weird that, like, I mean, like, these guys are teenagers. Were teenagers at the time. These are 17, 18, 19-year-old kids when they're making this. It's pretty goddamn impressive that they put together something that actually has melodies and shit on it. But it's definitely 4 teenagers and a session drummer trying to steal somebody else's bit and not doing it very well. Song number 8, In Hiding. This actually sounds like something that would show up on, like, their next 2 albums, Trespass and Nursery Crime. And then it's the first time that the classical instrument actually works. And that's the only thing I have to say about song number 8, In Hiding. Song number 9, One Day. Can't figure out what it wants its melody to be. It's back to stupid orchestrations. Apart from that, nothing. Window. Intro melody reminds me of Visions of Angels. Like, it kind of sounds like they stole it kind of sounds like Tony Banks went, you know that intro we did on Window on our first album? I'm gonna steal that, change it a little bit, and play it on an organ, and actually make it sound cool. That's what it fucking sounds like happened there. It's kind of got that da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na going on. I vaguely remember this one from previous listens. This is an early example of not being able to hear Peter over the instruments. It's an early example of what I call the Genesis problem. Song number 11, In Limbo, sounds like the rest of the album. Kind of same thing with song number 12. However, it's the second shortest song on the album, and recurring melody strikes again. And song number 13, thankfully, the shortest and final song on the album. That's all the more I had to say about it, and it kind of sounds like the rest of the album. I don't recommend this. I really do not recommend this album. I don't. It sold poorly. Granted, it doesn't help that it had very generic album art. It was just like, it wasn't this. It was just black with the title in gold in little tiny print up along here. It was just boring. The producer on this, Jonathan King, retained the rights to this album, and thus every subsequent re-release has been through him and not through what Genesis normally releases it through. I think it's Atlantic or something. But yeah, it was Peter Gabriel, Tony Banks, Mike Rutherford, and Anthony Phillips, and a drummer who wasn't there for very long. And I forgot his name, but he left after this album. And yeah. Now, this version of the album is a CD re-release from the 80s. And for some reason, the songs are in a different order. All but one of them has a different name. Now, all but 2 of them have a different name. It's incredibly weird. Wait, no. Now looking at it, what the fuck? It starts with 2 bonus tracks, and then and then it's the album. What the hell? What the hell? That's really dumb. That's really, really, really dumb. Okay. But yeah, I don't really recommend this version of the album. Yeah. Don't buy this. I mean, I guess I have the album now, so maybe do buy this. I don't know, but you have to skip the first 2 tracks, and then turn it off at song 15. So, alright, I guess I was wrong. I had a whole fucking monologue thinking, like, this is a bootleg, why would you do this? Nope, I'm just dumb. I am just dumb and didn't look at this very closely. So, yeah, thank you all very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. If you have something to add, if your opinion differs from mine, please feel free to say so in the comment section down below. If you want to hear me talk about something other than music but enjoy my personality, I have a podcast with two of my buddies. It's called Dorkies. I will leave a link to the latest episode of that in the description down below. Hopefully we can get another episode of that out shortly. And if you want to hear what I happen to be listening to that day, or 15-second segment at least, you can follow me on Instagram. I will leave a link to that in the description down below. I post a song on my story there every single day. And, yeah, with that, I would like to remind you, and stay weird and keep jamming. See you in the next week, where we will be looking at the debut album from Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. See you next time. Take care.